Hello and welcome to Monkey Business. This is Monkey Business for January 10th, 2013. And in today's afternoon coffee newser we have Boeing Defense, Space and Security, or BDS, a unit of aircraft manufacturer and aerospace and defense contractor Boeing, announces that it will consolidate facilities in El Paso, Texas, U.S., and cut jobs there by the end of 2014. The 370 workers at the site manufacture electronics for a variety of Boeing products. Anticipated U.S. defense budget cuts will likely mean less demand for these items. Boeing plans to scale down operations by reducing occupied square footage by 50%, moving from 3 buildings into 1 and eliminating up to 160 positions. Despite the consolidation, says Derek McLucky, director of Boeing Network Operations, Texas remains critical to Boeing with more than 6,000 employees working at Boeing locations and subsidiaries throughout the state. A unit of the Boeing Company, Boeing Defense, Space and Security is one of the world's largest defense, space and security businesses and the world's largest manufacturers of military aircraft. Headquartered in St. Louis, Missouri, in the United States, Boeing Defense, Space and Security is a $32 billion business with 60,000 employees worldwide. In other Boeing news, budget airline Blue Air Transport Aerian SA, based in Bucharest, Romania, has cancelled a long-standing 2008 order placed with Boeing for the delivery of 5 Boeing 737NG commercial airplanes. Blue Air gives as its reason for the termination of the order the troubled financial situation at Ramstad SRL, a major shareholder of Blue Air. The aircraft were to have been delivered in 2015 to 2016, and the order was worth $462.2 million. In the interim, the Boeing order queue indicates that the company has received 2 new 737 orders for 2013. The buyer or buyers are not identified, but the aircraft, as indicated by Boeing's internal labeling system, are intended for commercial rather than private use. More on any of these Boeing threads in the info box. In earnings news, financial services company American Express, or Amex, originally scheduled to report fourth quarter 2012 earnings on January 17, 2013, has reported a week early, today, January 10, 2013. After factoring in the impact of a $400 million restructuring charge, approximately $153 million in reimbursements to card members dating back several years, and some $342 million earmarked to cover future redemptions of membership rewards points redeemed by U.S. cardholders, net income for the quarter was $637 million, or 56 cents per share. Excluding these items, fourth quarter adjusted net income was $1.2 billion, or $1.09 per share. Fourth quarter consolidated total revenues net of interest expense were $8.1 billion, up 5% from $7.7 billion a year ago, and card member spending was 8% higher than a year ago. Along with fourth quarter 2012 earnings, Amex also announced upcoming job cuts. The company will be laying off 5,400 members of its staff in the next few months. A link to the webcast for this earnings report is included in the info box. And now, over to Marcel for Nearly News. Take it away, Marcel.
So, what's the going rate to broadcast a 30-second commercial during the annual Oscar Awards this year, to be broadcast February 24, 2013? Any guesses? Between $1.65 million and $1.8 million for a 30-second ad spot in this year's Oscars broadcast, advertising industry journal Ad Age reports, relying on the inside word from media buyers in an interview with the vice president of primetime ad sales at ABC, which broadcasts the award show. Ad Age points out that in 2008, Oscar airtime was a hot property, with spots going for around $1.8 million, dropping in 2009 to around $1.3 million due to the impact of the recession and ratings woes. Ratings woes. Ad Age also helpfully reports that the number of viewing eyeballs waxes and wanes depending on the lineup for Best Picture, noting that when the top titles nominated are arty films, viewership drops. But when the nominees are drawn from Hollywood blockbusters tailored for the masses, the ratings suddenly go up with a swoosh. Really. And the Pebble, it is here. The little gadget created by indie designer Eric Michikovsky, Pebble connects by Bluetooth to iPhone or Android devices and is basically a Wii relay for a user's smartphone. On their wrist, voila. So now users addicted to apps and emails can take everything with them all the time, everywhere. It's a very 21st century sort of accessory, no? And it had a very 21st century sort of backstory. The creator was able initially to raise venture capital on the idea, but hit a roadblock and investors weren't willing to risk more on a hardware startup. So Michikovsky turned to crowdfunding site Kickstarter. Crowdfunding works by basically accumulating small to larger amounts pledged by many people, or everyone shipping in, let's say, to buy a pizza. It's mainly a way to source art projects like music albums or movies, but draws gamers and gadget creators as well. In April 2012, Michikovsky posted a video and explained his design for the Pebble, indicating that he wanted to raise $100,000 to finance the development of the Pebble. The project met the $100,000 goal in 2 hours. Then it blew past the $100,000 mark to attract $4.7 million in a matter of days. The final tally was $10.26 million. The tech crowd idea is now the tangible everyday item, and Pebble starts shipping out to backers on January 23rd, 2013. Everybody gets their little slice from the pizza. The Pebble can also be ordered through the site for anyone who wasn't there the first time to say whether or not they wanted pepperoni. Voila. Roll on, Pebble. Roll on. Like a rolling stone.
And that's today's monkey business. Take care, folks. It's a jungle out there.